Chapter 61 Task System started. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Battles always turn into tug-of-wars inadvertently. The Valra half-dragon was already covered in wounds, and blood was all over the ground. Zhang Chen was covered in dirt, and the mountaintop, which was originally beautiful, was now in a mess. The battle lasted for half an hour, and this was the first time in Zhang Chen's history that he had unlocked the gene lock and fought at such a high intensity for such a long time. There seemed to be no scars on the surface of his body, but Zhang Chen could clearly feel the wailing of his organs and gene chains in his body. The longer the gene lock is opened, the more likely it is that the gene will collapse. While opening the gene lock brings a constant stream of combat awareness and huge power in the body, it will also frantically devour the energy of the opener itself. Once it exceeds the limit of the self-endurance range, the gene lock will collapse and cause damage to the user at the genetic level. In half an hour, the energy in Zhang Chen's body was almost drained, although the Valra half-dragon didn't look much better. At the critical moment of life and death, the Valra half-dragon couldn't give Zhang Chen a chance to repair his whole body. Both sides understood that a second of slackness could determine their own life and death. As long as I have a breath left, I can use the Lord God to repair my whole body. I win no matter what. Zhang Chen paused while running, and his well-proportioned body seemed to have grown stronger. The double-headed fork of the Valra half-dragon attacked Zhang Chen like a whirlwind, and Zhang Chen performed Qigong fiercely, stepped on the double-headed fork with one foot and kicked it hard, turning his body sideways like a spinning top. The red flame blade in his hand drew a series of vortexes of flames and slashed hard on the slender neck of the Valra half-dragon. Chi! Blood gushed out like a spring, flames soared into the sky, and the neck of the Valra half-dragon was cut off by 1/3 and fell to the ground. Zhang Chen rolled over and stood firm, and immediately released the state of genetic lock. It seemed that all the bones in his body were broken, and the pain was unbearable. This blood is a good thing, and it can be sold at a good price. Zhang Chen's smile at this time was uglier than crying, but at least he solved the Valra half-dragon. The Valra half-dragon fell in a pool of blood and wailed. The thunderstorm armor on his body also fell apart. His body twitched and he no longer had the ability to fight. Lord God, repair the whole body. The whole body repair function can only be used once a day. The second use requires an additional 10 times the bonus points. Do you want to use it? Ha! Isn't this just asking for a higher price? Zhang Chen gritted his teeth and endured the pain in his body. He was unwilling to pay 10 times the extra bonus points. Although his physical condition was very poor, it should not be a problem to live until tomorrow. The wailing Valra half-dragon finally stopped wailing, and his life passed away with heavy bleeding. Get 500 experience points. Get 150 bonus points. Get Dimensional Crystal Diamond. Get the authority to open the Tower Master. The 999th Evolution Spire opens the Task Management System. Prompt: Zhang Chen is the first to obtain a personal task, and gets the title of You Have a Share, and is rewarded with 5 points of personal luck. Prompt: The 999th Evolution Spire opens the Task Management System, which will randomly issue evolution tasks. Please pay attention to the task management list. Prompt: Open the personal task panel, and you can get the task content after completing the task. Prompt: The task management list is not only randomly issued by Tiandao, but all members in the channel can also issue any task after paying the corresponding conditions. With the end of Tiandao's prompts, the panel in everyone's mind has more options for personal tasks and task lists. At the same time, there is a task on the Tiandao task list, which is the permission to enter the main plane that Zhang Chen first obtained. The executor of this task is Zhang Chen, so other people cannot get any task rewards even if they execute this task. Fuck, Master Zhang Chen, what have you done again? Damn, it's one surprise after another. This evolution spire is like a puzzle that is constantly being perfected. Why is it that Master Zhang Chen always finds the hidden content first? Hey! One step faster than us is always one step faster than us. Master Zhang Chen is always Master Zhang Chen. Yeah, I really envy Master Zhang Chen. The strong will always be strong. I think even the second-placed Master Li Ming is still far away from Master Zhang Chen. Master, can you reveal some secrets to us? Let us learn from you, so that we won't hold you back. Yes, Master, tell me your secrets. Stupid, how can such a good thing be said? You think too much. Zhang Chen ignored the flattery of the crowd and took a look at the personal task panel. In the personal task panel, you can only see your own tasks. In Zhang Chen's panel, there are tasks for the Lord of the Tower. Complete the Tower Master's Quest Condition 1, and be promoted to level 10. Condition 2, the combat power must exceed 300. Condition 3, kill 5 third-level upper-level monsters. After completing the quest, you can gain control of the Evolution Spire and unlock some of the Evolution Spire's abilities. At the same time, you will be qualified to build the Evolution Spire. The Evolution Spire can become a plane as it is built, accommodating more creatures. This quest can be transferred and traded, and it is not necessary to complete the quest. Zhang Chen found the last one very interesting. He had never thought that this kind of task could be transferred and traded. As for building the Evolution Spire, Zhang Chen had no interest in it. However, this task was temporarily in his hands, and he had basically completed 2/3 of it. In the number 999 Evolution Spire, except for himself, no one else was qualified to complete this task. Lying on the ground, the original heat of the battle slowly cooled down on the top of the mountain, and the blood of the Valra half-dragon was still boiling and could not be condensed by the wind and snow. Zhang Chen could not move, his whole body was sore and weak, and he could only wait until the Lord God repaired his body tomorrow before taking action. After this battle, bathing in dragon blood, his attributes have also been greatly improved. The current attributes are as follows: level 10, 3000 to 50,000, intelligence 10, mental power 60, cell vitality 250, nerve reaction speed 250, muscle tissue strength 280, immune strength 160, comprehensive combat power score 310. Title: Pioneer, Special Killer, 100-man killer. Out of the rookie, first evolution, you also have a share. There are breakthroughs in the mental aspect, an increase of 10 points, and the comprehensive combat power has exceeded 300 points. Did my mental power break through because of my obsession? Zhang Chen shook his head. It was too much for him to face these third-level upper-level monsters. My combat power is at least 500 points when I burst out, but it is very difficult to face the third-level upper-level monsters. If you want to easily kill the third-level upper-level monster, you must burst out at least 700 to 800 points of combat power. Now I am injured all over my body and can't do anything. I can only dive in 2 chat channels and wait for the Lord God to repair and restore the original price tomorrow. At least now the overall situation of Evolution Spire number 999 is good, and it is only a matter of time before we defeat Evolution Spire number 937. Chapter 62, Surrender and Sharp Contradictions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Everyone is trying to find ways to improve their level and combat effectiveness throughout the day. Only Zhang Chen lay there from morning until the next morning. As early as the early morning, Zhang Chen had already left the snow mountain after the main god's repair function was refreshed, but he still had a sweet dream. It's level 9. I'm also at level 9. Finally level 9, except for Zhang Chen's top 5, all the top 5 players on the ranking list have been promoted to level 9, and the Evolution Spire number 999 has also taken a big step forward. Sasaki Kojiro-kun. We're probably going to lose. Sasaki Kojiro sighed, their resilience is stronger than we imagined. I thought we were already growing quickly. We only sleep 3 hours a day, and they are crazier than us and only sleep 2 hours a day. Even knowing that the level of the monsters is higher and stronger than mine, I still challenge these monsters. Don't seek insurance and deal with some monsters that can be easily dealt with. Kill the monsters when you see them, instead of evaluating and thinking like us. I have to admit their strength and terrifying national cohesion. Ojiro-kun. I don't think what you said is right. Noera, admit it, we are too superficial. Look at our people, our slogans are louder than anyone else's. But how about actually doing it? It's been a few days. How many people have been promoted to level 9, and how many have been promoted to level 7? Evolution Spire is basically fair. Everyone's strength is currently at the same level, and they can't be any stronger. But now it looks like, even on a level playing field, we lost. This reminds me of the war nearly 100 years ago. At that time, our army had to be superior to them in everything. It can be said that the situation was extremely unequal, but they still won. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? Putting aside objective factors, they just won. Admit it. Sasaki Kojiro looked at the sky and sighed, we lost this time, don't add unnecessary losses. Let everyone take a rest. You have worked hard these past few days. Ojiro, if you let other people in the steeple know that you have a negative attitude. You can't say this. Is there anything we can't say? Sasaki Kojiro raised his eyes and said, can't we just let everyone die here? I am doing this to retain my strength and plan for development after settling in the main plane. Don't worry, I am the strongest person in the 937 Evolution Spire now, and I am the one who gives the order. I will take full responsibility for any problems in the future. Even if I have to commit seppuku, I will do it, and it has nothing to do with you Noera. Ojiro-kun, that's not what I meant. Kojiro has issued an order to let everyone rest and no longer have to catch up with the progress of Evolution Spire number 999, and as soon as this sentence came out, not only Spire number 937 understood what it meant, the rabbits who have been diving in the Evolution Spire number 937 also understand what it represents. It means that Evolution Spire number 937 has officially admitted defeat. Although this is the third invasion plan of Evolution Spire number 999, this is the first time it has been abandoned directly in the Spire chat channel. This news is even more exciting than winning them. Winning or losing is easy, but trying to convince a person or a group of people is extremely difficult. And Evolution Spire number 999 did it. This is a very happy event. This incident also spread in the regional channel instantly. Hahaha, the bastards who had a good life as Evolutionary Spire Boy number 937 have surrendered. In the third invasion operation, this is the first time we encountered a surrendered Evolution Spire. Yes, they were scared to death by us. Now they are all recuperating and waiting for all of us to reach level 9. Okay, brothers from Evolution Spire number 999, take a breath of bad breath for us. Let them be arrogant, let Ingjiang be arrogant. Let White Elephant Asen and Pickle Sticks be arrogant. When you encounter our Zhonghua rabbits in the future, they will all run away and kill them all without leaving a trace. Brother, why does it feel like you did it? It's obviously all the result of Evolution Spire number 999. We are all descendants of the Yan and Huang dynasties, we are unanimous in dealing with the outside world, and everyone does the same thing. Isn't it enough for me to be happy? Are we going to have to cry in mourning even if we win? Stop arguing. This is a good thing. If there weren't many people here, would it be their turn to bully us? Alas. Yes, there are 1,000 evolutionary spears, and 100 of them belong to us. The rest are all crooked nuts. Even if we enter the main plane, our living environment will be very worrying. Sigh, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that Evolution Spire number 999 is showing off now, that everyone's originally happy mood suddenly sank to the bottom. After all, the spires are not seeing each other now, but once they all settle in the main plane, everyone will fight on the same main plane. If he is showing such bravery now, he will definitely be regarded as a thorn in the flesh. Whether it will be a blessing or a curse is hard to predict. Don't be pessimistic. When we unite, it won't be easy for them to take advantage. Yes, we can become stronger if we unite. Damn it. What is Kojiro doing? He actually surrendered. Damn it, he has made the Empire lose face. Wait, I must make him commit seppuku to apologize when we enter the main plane. It's okay if he can't win, but he actually surrendered. Is he still a Japanese? It's so embarrassing. A sinner of the Empire. He must be made to commit seppuku to apologize. The Empire doesn't need such a coward. Huh, the chicken and the rabbit are biting each other. Yeah, it's funny to watch these yellow-skinned people fighting to the death. They are all a bunch of barbaric guys, and we still have to decide who is better. Only our white-skinned people are the highest race of humans. Others are only worthy of providing us with food and serving as labor. That the people of Europe, America, and Africa laughed loudly. They were like bystanders. No matter which side wins, they will only be ridiculed by them. In their eyes, they are all yellow people. Damn black people, how can you have a say here? Yes, sorry, sir, we just. Hurry up and invade other evolutionary spires, I'm still waiting to harvest attribute points from you. Yes, sir. The contradictions between the skin colors in Area 1 are very sharp, but the rabbits of the Chinese family are more hostile. It seems that they are not happy unless they completely squeeze the rabbits to death. The contradiction is really sharp. Wang Yu also observed the regional chat channel slightly. I didn't expect that this incident would directly intensify the racial conflict to such a naked level. It seems that the days to come will not be easy. Either they keep the strongest momentum and rush to the end, or they will be swallowed up in the continuous joint attack. There is no second possibility. The law of the jungle here is more naked, and it is presented to everyone without modification. Chapter 63 Black Fog Lake Exchange for Floating Skateboard. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. Zhang Chen traveled all the way from the peak of winter and finally approached the range of the Black Fog Lake. It has been 10 days since the invasion operation plan began. Almost all the people in the 999th Evolution Spire have reached level 9, and only about 30 people have not been promoted to level 9. Master Zhang Chen, we are sorry. At this point, if you want to kill us, we have nothing to say. That the remaining 30-odd people looked ugly, and all apologized to Zhang Chen in the chat channel. Zhang Chen's original intention was to kill all these people who dragged his feet, but now Zhang Chen doesn't think so. The slow promotion of these people has certain benefits. As long as it is within the controllable range, this slow promotion speed can ensure their safety. There's no need to mention this matter again. You've worked hard, let's forget about this matter, and upgrade. Really? Thank you, Master Zhang Chen. Master Zhang Chen is magnanimous. A master is a master, even better than a big boss. Haha, thank you, Master, we will definitely be promoted to level 9 tomorrow. That at this time, Zhang Chen found Wang Yu's private message and sent a message to him. Wang Yu, I know one of the level 8 is a member of your team. Now I want you to ask him to cooperate with us to do something. Wang Yu looked at the private message sent by Zhang Chen and said inconspicuously, what is it? Let him leave behind the experience of a magic beast and be promoted to level 9 at any time. Make sure we don't lose this invasion plan. Wait until the number 0001 Evolution Spire confirms the use of the invasion plan battle map, and then complete the victory conditions this time. Wang Yu laughed, you are a very careful guy. Are you planning to avoid Adam? Yes, Adam's strength is unknown, and I don't plan to be hostile to him at this time. Maybe I can beat him, and you may not be able to survive under the team he leads. So there is no need to take risks. Wang Yu nodded and said, okay, I understand this matter, I will tell him now. But what if Adam and the others keep waiting for us? Wait, Zhang Chen sneered, no, looking for us is just an additional idea. In fact, any evolution spire can be invaded. All they want is to upgrade. According to the news in the regional channel, some evolution spire have won 4 or 5 invasion operations. Wouldn't it be better to deprive these evolution spire of their rewards? If Adam is not mentally retarded, he will not pursue us relentlessly. This will only waste his own time. You are not only strong, but also very smart. Why do you always like to be a lone wolf? This has nothing to do with you. Just take care of yourself and your team. After Zhang Chen finished speaking, he stopped accepting private messages, which made Wang Yu very depressed. There was nothing he could do with this man with a weird temper. What do you think? Do you think what Zhang Chen said is true? Wang Yu looked at Su Yingying beside him and asked her opinion. Su Yingying licked a lollipop in her hand and smiled. Captain, although Zhang Chen has a very strange and even vicious personality, he has really considered this matter very carefully. He has indeed considered the issue of evolution spire number 999 from all aspects. Just do what he says. Yingying, your brain is much better than mine. I can only decide these things after your confirmation. Su Yingying smiled and said, yes, your big brain can only fight, not think about other things. With you as my advisor, I don't have to bother so much. Improving strength is the kingly way. Wang Yu clenched his fists, he knew himself well. Although he couldn't catch up with Zhang Chen, there were still Li Ming and Fan Tianao above him. Surpassing them was also a success. On the other side, Zhang Chen had already arrived at the entrance of the Black Mist Lake. It takes too much time to hurry. The Black Mist Lake was surrounded by a swamp, with dead branches and rotten leaves everywhere, and lush trees densely packed, blocking the sunlight. The forest is filled with black fog all year round, hence the name. The black fog has certain toxins, but Zhang Chen's immunity at this time can completely ignore the impact of these weak toxins on the body. I don't know how big the range is inside. Zhang Chen frowned, he was really fed up with this kind of running around. Lord God, Technology Exchange, Mobile Vehicle. Technology Exchange, Mobile Vehicle. Amphibious Motorboat. Luxury Off-Road Vehicle. Super Sports Car. Airship. Zhang Chen selected the vehicle. Even the vehicle has many types and choices, and the equipment exchanged by technology is much cheaper than the other three categories. Single Soldier Combat Aircraft. Zhang Chen's eyes lit up and he saw a good thing. The Single Soldier Combat Aircraft is somewhat like a skateboard, but it is a little bigger and has a flat surface. The maximum flight speed can reach 90 km per hour and can withstand a maximum weight of 540 kilograms. The surface of the skateboard uses matte anti-reflective paint and is powered by hydrogen fuel electricity. It can be used for 48 hours after charging, and the battery can be replaced. Requires 3,500 reward points and a sea-level reward authority. In order to make it easier to travel in the future, Zhang Chen exchanged it without hesitation. To move it forward, just push your toes forward and lean your body forward slightly. To move it backward, use your heels to push, and stop with your feet steady. To move left and right, you basically rely on the soles of your feet to operate. Zhang Chen tried to use it a few times and soon became familiar with the essentials. Of course, this is also because Zhang Chen has unlocked the gene lock and has a very delicate control over his body. It is difficult for ordinary people to control a single soldier combat skateboard. The advantage of a single soldier combat skateboard is that it is small in size, very flexible and convenient. It's still worth it. In terms of transportation, the single soldier combat skateboard is worth its price, and it is worth exchanging. The only problem is that charging is more troublesome. Of course, Zhang Chen can help with charging, but each charging will cost 10 reward points. However, it is still not easy to use a single soldier combat skateboard in a dense forest area. After putting away the skateboard, Zhang Chen slowly walked into the Black Mist Lake. The surrounding environment is very messy, and visibility is also very poor. With Zhang Chen's current physical condition, he can only see clearly within a distance of 7 or 8 meters around him. These black fogs are too troublesome. Zhang Chen even had a crazy idea, to blow up the entire forest outside the Black Fog Lake in one breath, so that he could go in directly, but it was just a thought. If he wanted to blow this place up, he would probably have to exchange for Atomic Dan. He stepped deep and shallow on the rotten dead branches, making a squeaking sound, but after walking for a while, Zhang Chen found that his voice seemed to be repeating. Every time he stepped down, there would be 2 squeaking sounds, but the synchronization rate of the sound was so high that he never felt it. When he stopped, the sound stopped, and the sound of his movement immediately followed. Chapter 64, The Plain Thief Blackmails. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Walk. Zhang Chen's speed suddenly increased. He stared carefully behind him and even entered the state of unlocking the genetic lock. It's definitely not an illusion. After entering the gene lock state, Zhang Chen was very sensitive to changes in the surrounding environment. and the sounds coming from behind him were absolutely real. His speed is getting faster and faster, and he jumps over with a sudden movement and looks behind him. When he turned over, there was no one behind him. What the hell? Zhang Chen frowned. Although he was powerful, he had no clue about the current strange situation. In the diffuse black mist, the true energy was circulating in his body. Zhang Chen felt a hint of strangeness and fear as he observed his surroundings. After a minute, Zhang Chen took action again, but the footsteps behind him followed him like tarsal maggots. The moment I turned around, there was still nothing. Damn it, the atmosphere in the oppressive and quiet forest was extremely weird, and the voices behind him were constantly irritating Zhang Chen's nerves. This thing must be there, but from a certain perspective, it is hidden. Zhang Chen suddenly used his true energy to step on dead leaves and branches with one foot heavy and the other light. After walking a few steps, he turned around again. As expected, Zhang Chen moved forward fiercely, slashing with the red flame blade, and a stream of blood spilled out of the air. Then a short, ugly goblin-like creature appeared in front of Zhang Chen. The difference is that this ugly thing has a pair of ears like cattail leaf fans. Zhang Chen grabbed the ear of the thing with one hand and easily lifted the ugly thing, which was about 2 meters tall. A plain thief is weak, but has special talents and abilities that can travel around in some small planes. They are good at hiding their bodies, so as to achieve the purpose of stealing passengers. Generally, they will travel through the plane and leave immediately after they succeed, so they are almost impossible to catch. But as long as you grab their ears, they won't be able to activate the skills of traveling through the planes. If you want to catch them, you have to grab their ears as soon as possible. Almost every plane thief has a lot of wealth. Innate skills, plane travel, thief's hand, invisible hiding. Zhang Chen smiled and his eyes lit up. This guy was a born thief, but then I was puzzled. He had already been noticed, so why did he still take the risk and follow, when he obviously had nothing on him? How did you find me? The plain thief in front of him spoke, his hands as thin as chicken claws weakly grasping Zhang Chen's arms, trying to break away from Zhang Chen. You actually speak our language? Of course, I can speak any language. I am Lord Model. Template. Is this your name? You want to know why I found you? Because you showed your flaws. Zhang Chen smiled, casually took out a rope, tied up Fan Ben's ears and body, and threw it aside. I deliberately used qi to destroy the surrounding ground, creating different shades of ground. You have been following me, only remembering to imitate my speed and frequency, but ignoring the changes in the surrounding environment. Naturally, when I saw an extra footprint on the ground, I knew you were there. Fan Ben, why have you been following me? I turned around several times and obviously spotted you, but you still didn't run away. Fan Ben curled his lips and said, you have the best treasure in you. My instinct drives me to follow you even if I feel it is dangerous. This is a common problem in our family, and I can't overcome it. I just can't control my hands. But it's strange. I have observed around you many times, and even used the talent thief's hand, but I found nothing. But I am very sure that you are not the best I want. I'm so sorry, I'm not the best you want. Zhang Chen frowned, with black lines all over his face, but then he thought of something and opened his hand, and a white ball of light floated in front of him. Fan Ben looked at the Lord God, his eyes straightened, his eyes full of desire, and his saliva drooled all over the floor. That's it, that's it. The breath I feel is it. Zhang Chen turned his hand, and the Lord God immediately hid in his body. I didn't expect this guy to have the ability to feel the presence of the Lord God, but if it weren't for the aura of the Lord God that attracted this thing, Zhang Chen really wouldn't be able to benefit from it at this time. Fan Ben, do you know that there is a saying that people have to bow their heads under the eaves? Zhang Chen chuckled and said, you understand what I mean, right? That the plain thief exemplar said helplessly, I understand, what do you want? I want as many things as you have, I want them all. These things are all for redemption. You don't know how to bargain, do you? Fan Ben didn't expect Zhang Chen to have such a big appetite and immediately shook his head and said, no, absolutely not. Even if I die, I can't give you all the wealth I stole. It's useless even if you kill me. All my things are in the fragmented space and only I can open them. You'll get nothing if you kill me. I will give you 3 treasures at most, no more. Plain thieves love money as much as their lives, so it's not easy to extort something from them. Real. Fan Ben nodded and said, really? Zhang Chen looked at Fan Ben, who was only covered with a piece of torn cowhide, and indeed did not look like he had any treasure. He had to believe what it said. Well, let me ask first, can you communicate with any creature in any plane? Fan Ben nodded and said, of course, walking in the plane, this is a basic skill. How did you do it? Translation. Talent. This is not a talent, it's a universal language. Okay, I want a universal language. Then you have to tell me what treasure you have, otherwise how can I know how to choose? Fan Ben was about to nod and immediately shook his head and said, if I take out the things, you will probably kill me at any time. No, no, Zhang Chen smiled, this Fan Ben's IQ is quite high, and he can't fool it. Okay, then I'll choose an armor, at least at the artifact level. Finally. I want your contact information. Ah. Fan Ben's brain suddenly crashed, and he didn't understand what the human in front of him meant. Want his contact information? Is he interested in me? No, 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 what are you thinking? Zhang Chen said, maybe I can trade with you in the future using things I don't need. Mutual benefit, what do you think? Zhang Chen thought very clearly. Although Fan Ben's strength was average, he could travel through planes, and he might get some things that were not available in his own plane. The value at that time would not be comparable to the extortion at the moment. Anyway, he had the support of the Lord God, and he could get whatever Fan Ben wanted. I would decide whether it was worth it or not at that time. That's right. Fan Ben nodded. In fact, Zhang Chen actually just asked for a treasure, and he made a profit. Chapter 65 Tempting Song Powerful Crocodile. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let go of my hand. The template requires Zhang Chen to let go of his hands, otherwise he will not be able to give Zhang Chen something. Are you sure you won't run away if I let go of your hand? Fan Ben looked at the scars on his chest and said, you strike so fast, how can I run away? Although I am a plain thief, I am also very honest. I won't make any attempt to escape, don't worry. Zhang Chen thought about it for a while, then raised his sword, and Fan Ben's hands were untied. Fan Ben opened his mouth, took out a book from his mouth and handed it to Zhang Chen. This is the language book you want. As long as you think about the content in it, it will naturally come to mind. But the universal language is not useful for everything. Most of the monsters cannot speak. Don't think you can communicate about everything. Zhang Chen held the book and as soon as he turned a page, the entire book turned into a ray of light and entered his mind. It turns out that this book exists in the form of energy, and all its contents will be reflected in the user's mind the moment the user uses it. So universal language is so simple. I thought it would be very complicated. The model continued to take out the armor from his mouth. A black tights appeared in its hands. Fan Ben said, this is the artifact level armor you want. I just give it to you. I don't know what this thing is called, but it's pretty easy to use. It can automatically change according to your body shape. It's best if it's worn underneath the body. It can resist 20% of physical damage and 15% of magic damage. It can withstand the attack of a 5th level intermediate monster at most. Combat Suit, a low-level artifact. It can effectively resist damage and automatically adjust the temperature when worn on the body. Zhang Chen held the black tights in his hand. The tights were as light as a feather. They could be pulled into any shape by pulling at will, but the strength did not weaken at all. Zhang Chen immediately took off his clothes, put them on inside the lining, and then tried it on. When encountering an attack, the outside of the tights will automatically harden, and the inside will seem to be filled with air, effectively protecting the body. The effect is very good. Zhang Chen nodded with satisfaction. Where was the template? Finally, he took out a big brother from his mouth and handed it to Zhang Chen. All you have to do is call it when you want to find me. There was a button in the middle of the mobile phone. Zhang Chen tried to press the button.
At this time, the model's ears began to shake rapidly and pointed at Zhang Chen's position. "Stop pressing it." Fan Ben's whole body was numb and he said, "Stop it quickly. This kind of abnormal shaking is really making people, oh. Your taste is so disgusting." Zhang Chen's ears returned to normal after closing the button template, but a blush appeared on his face unknowingly. "You are so awesome." Zhang Chen felt very perverted about Fan Ben's weird hobby. "Anyway, as long as you know it." After adjusting his appearance, Fan Ben said, "I'm leaving." He peeled off the loose rope from his ears and disappeared in front of Zhang Chen with colorful lights flashing around his body. This guy's body is really strange. The moment the colorful light appeared, Zhang Chen even felt a palpitation in his heart. The terrifying power of tearing apart the plane was not something Zhang Chen could come into contact with now. "I thought I was being followed by some kind of monster, but I didn't expect that I actually gained a lot in the end. This is the first time for artifact-level equipment, probably the first time in the entire first area." With the defensive capabilities of the battle suit, Zhang Chen will be more confident when facing the Black Tide Banshee. After the model left, the surrounding black fog seemed to have been dispersed a lot, and more places could be seen clearly. As he went deeper, Zhang Chen slowly heard faint singing coming from the depths of the dense forest. The song is melodious, but there is something strange about it, like a beauty trap tempting adventurers. So it seems that the Black Tide Banshee is like the Siren Banshee in a certain mythology, which relies on its singing to attract and then eat those unlucky people. Zhang Chen sneered. How could this method affect him? This song just happened to reveal the location of the Kuroshio Banshee, saving me the trouble of searching. Zhang Chen searched for the song along the way, and the black lake spread out from the mist and slowly appeared in front of him. The lake is surrounded by dense forests and is not very big. There seems to be a small island in the center of the lake, and a black mermaid is lying on the reef singing. Her face is enchanting and full of charm. Her lower body is completely covered with black scales and tail fins, and her upper body is very naked, with only her long wavy hair blocking her private parts. The melodious and clear singing voice reaches the ears, like a magic sound, which makes people unable to stop and forget to leave. Zhang Chen squinted his eyes. It was obvious that the Black Tide Banshee had noticed him the moment he appeared. One hand of the Black Tide Banshee moved towards Zhang Chen, and the other hand combed her hair, lying on her side to expose the best part. At this moment, an idea suddenly popped into Zhang Chen's mind. If you are a mermaid, should you choose the upper body or the lower body? This weird question. Since you let me go over, I'll go over and watch it for you. Zhang Chen stepped out, only to find that the soles of his feet were wet, and then he immediately shrank back. No. Just then, Zhang Chen clearly felt that he was lured. He had no intention of swimming directly, but his body involuntarily took a few steps forward. Shaking his head, Zhang Chen covered his ears. He thought that his mental power would not be bewitched, but now it seems that he underestimated the Black Tide Banshee. Combat aircraft. Zhang Chen threw his hands, and a matte skateboard appeared in front of him. Jumping with both feet, Zhang Chen stepped on the skateboard and glided low and quickly approached the Black Tide Banshee. Roar! A large number of crocodile-like creatures suddenly emerged from the water, chasing Zhang Chen's single combat skateboard and biting it. Fortunately, Zhang Chen reacted very quickly and pulled up the altitude, so he was not swallowed by these crocodile-like monsters. Zhang Chen also understood what terrible consequences would happen if he really entered the water just now. Strong giant crocodiles, third-order lower-level monsters, they are huge and have amazing bite force that can tear everything apart. Talent skill, hydraulic bullets, fire the surging water pressure like a cannonball to attack the target. More than a dozen strong giant crocodiles raised their heads, condensed hydraulic bullets in their mouths and aimed at Zhang Chen. Boom! Huge black water balls hit Zhang Chen, who evaded them flexibly by manipulating the single-soldier skateboard, but Zhang Chen was forced back to the shore. The hydraulic bullets spit out by these strong giant crocodiles are like anti-aircraft guns, which are very difficult to break through. Zhang Chen stood on the treetops, and those strong giant crocodiles also stared at Zhang Chen with greedy eyes. The singing of the Black Tide Banshee seemed to have turned into a mocking language. Harsh and unpleasant. You can't seduce me, so you start to spray me.
that the singing that penetrates the body has a 10% reduction effect on physical attributes, which makes Zhang Chen very unhappy. Chapter 66 Gauss Sniper. You are listening at novelfull.audio. If you want to get close to her, you have to get rid of the guards around her. Zhang Chen rolled his eyes as he looked at the group of powerful giant crocodiles in the lake. This group of crocodiles is probably under control, otherwise they would be amphibious and would have chased them even if they were on the shore, but they are guarding the tide banshee, and they will only take action when they get close. Kill you all. Zhang Chen made a move with his hand, and the main god appeared in front of him. Technology exchange. Gauss Sniper Rifle. Redeeming the Gauss Sniper Rifle requires a SSS-level reward authority and 4,000 reward points. Do you want to redeem it? A long and narrow sniper gun with a silvery luster and a high-tech feel appeared in Zhang Chen's hands. The Gauss series weapons are about 50 to 100 years ahead of the current technology on Zhang Chen's planet. Higher levels include particle weapons and beam weapons. However, the rights to redeem rewards have also increased from level C to level A. Zhang Chen cannot afford these things, but the Gauss sniper rifle is just right. Of course, after redeeming such a C-level reward permission, Zhang Chen only has 1 C and 2 D redemption permissions left. Poverty still makes Zhang Chen unable to breathe. After redeeming the Gauss sniper rifle, the Lord God will give you 10 bullets. Gauss series weapons are actually electromagnetic weapons. They use round projectiles instead of gunpowder bullets. There are 10 pieces in total, which can be loaded at one time. However, the firing method of the Gauss sniper rifle is still a bolt-pull type, all for the sake of greater accuracy and easier maintenance. Only bolt-type sniper guns can be considered pure in blood. Zhang Chen is not a good sniper, and this is even the first time he has used a sniper gun in the game. After finding the right position and angle, Zhang Chen became a qualified sniper after unlocking the genetic lock. Boom! The huge roar echoed in the forest for a long time, and the surrounding birds and beasts were frightened and fled in all directions. The power of the Gauss sniper gun far exceeds Zhang Chen's imagination. Generally speaking, the skin of a third-level monster is very hard, but after one shot from the Gauss sniper gun, the body was penetrated. The wound as big as the mouth of a bull dyed the lake's surface red. After this shot, the black tide banshee seemed to be frightened. She stopped singing and dived into the water to hide. Snort! Zhang Chen pouted. He should have shot her with the first shot, but unfortunately she was hiding in the blind spot, so he had to do the next best thing. Although the black nest banshee hid, the powerful giant crocodiles around it acted like idiots. Each one of them began to grow their mouths to condense water pressure bombs, and bombarded the shore wildly. Big trees were cut in half, and sawdust and leaves were flying everywhere. Zhang Chen's gunshot sounded again. Every gunshot takes the life of an alligator. Get 300 experience points. Get 100 bonus points. The reward prompts kept beating, and Zhang Chen smiled and harvested the lives of these crocodiles who gave away points. 10 bullets killed 10 crocodiles, and finally the 2 remaining crocodiles also dived into the water. Zhang Chen guessed that the black tide banshee was afraid and asked the 2 crocodiles to protect her personally, otherwise these stupid and strong crocodiles would not be able to leave. Sneaking down to sleep would be troublesome. Zhang Chen stood on the edge of the lake. The corpses of 10 crocodiles were floating in the lake. The lake was black and red, and it looked very charming and strange. I don't want to get my body wet. Zhang Chen stood on the shore. It was neither going down nor going down. Entering the lake, your reaction, speed, and strength will also decrease. Zhang Chen stayed on the shore and waited for a long time, but the black tide banshee didn't come out, and he didn't hear any singing in the river. The lake is dark, and even light has difficulty penetrating it. Zhang Chen casually grabbed a few corpses, tied them with hemp ropes and threw them into the bottom of the lake. Even if they don't need to ventilate, they still need to eat. Not long after the crocodile's body fell, the hemp rope in Zhang Chen's hand was pulled straight. A huge force pulled the rope in Zhang Chen's hand and pulled up the river with Zhang Chen. Rise! Zhang Chen exerted a strong force, and a huge crocodile was thrown out by Zhang Chen. Die! Without giving the strong crocodile a chance to react, Zhang Chen held the particle blade in his hand and cut open its soft abdomen. Wow! The body fell onto the lake with a splash of water. There's another one. Zhang Chen smiled and followed the same pattern. but after more than 10 minutes, the remaining strong crocodile did not accept this trick anymore. There were many corpses in the lake, and this crocodile was not that stupid. It came out and dragged the corpses floating on the lake down to feast on them. "TSK TSK TSK, you are smart." Zhang Chen smacked his lips. There was no other way to seduce the powerful giant crocodile. "Never mind." Zhang Chen took a deep breath and plunged into the water. The visibility in the dark lake was much higher than Zhang Chen imagined. At this time, the powerful giant crocodile and the tide banshee were hiding at the bottom of the lake. The moment Zhang Chen entered the water, for eyes were already staring at him, the powerful giant crocodile dropped the meat in its mouth and swam in the lake very fast with its tail swaying. He arrived in front of Zhang Chen in an instant. "As expected, they just want me to come down. Their combat effectiveness in the lake will increase by at least 30%, and I will be 20% weaker." Zhang Chen thought to himself, while the strong crocodile's body muddied the lake water, and swam around Zhang Chen quickly, looking for an exit. Holding the particle blade in his hand, Zhang Chen was not panicked at all. After unlocking the gene lock, he could sense the threats around his body at any time, even in the water. Swish, the lake water was surging, and a lot of blood was scattered around Zhang Chen. The particle blade had indeed cut the strong crocodile just now, but this thing relied on the turbid lake water and swam away the moment it was injured, giving Zhang Chen no more attack opportunities. "It's over." Zhang Chen swam quickly, and a hydraulic bullet hit his abdomen at the moment he turned around. The hydraulic bullet pushed Zhang Chen from one end to the other. The effect of the combat suit is really good. In the water, the power of the hydraulic bullet was also weakened a lot, but the trouble has just begun. The battle made Zhang Chen's lungs consume the oxygen that was originally stored in a small amount even faster. "No, I have to go up to breathe." Swimming upward quickly, the strong crocodile and the black tide sea monster attacked at the same time. They also saw that Zhang Chen wanted to breathe, so they naturally couldn't give him a chance at this time, and they had to hold him tightly in the water. "Don't get caught." But in the water, how could Zhang Chen's speed be faster than these two creatures that were originally in the water? One foot was bitten by the strong giant crocodile, and at the same time, the black tide banshee also hugged Zhang Chen with both hands, as if lovers were hugging each other from behind, but her two hands tightly tightened Zhang Chen's lungs. Zhang Chen choked out a lot of air from his lungs, and then immediately closed his mouth. His legs kicked wildly, and the feeling of suffocation made him grab with his hands. His throat tightened, and his whole body seemed like a shrunken plastic bag. "Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!" Zhang Chen's muscles suddenly swelled up, and the madness between life and death made him burst out all his potential. Chapter 67. Only one person left, one step ahead. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The body that was tightened by the black tide banshee suddenly broke free from her hands. Zhang Chen turned around and used the ion blade to cut off the black tide banshee's hands in an instant, and floated to the surface of the water with only 1 foot. Ha! Hoo! Breathing in fresh oxygen in big gulps, Zhang Chen seemed to be alive again. After a short breath, the strong giant crocodile biting his calf exerted force again to drag Zhang Chen into the water, but at this moment, Zhang Chen had breathed enough air as if he was reborn, and he did not resist and let the strong giant crocodile drag him. In the water, Zhang Chen slowly bent over and suddenly made a move. The ion blade pierced into the body of the strong giant crocodile, and then Zhang Chen grabbed the strong giant crocodile's exposed teeth with his other hand to fix his body. The eyes of both sides confronted each other. Zhang Chen grinned in the water, pulled out the ion blade and stabbed its eyes fiercely. The strong giant crocodile opened its mouth in pain and twisted wildly, but Zhang Chen grabbed its suppression and continued to chop and kill until the strong giant crocodile turned over and floated towards the lake. The black tide banshee was hiding at the bottom of the lake. Zhang Chen's madness frightened her and her beautiful face became distorted with fear. After her two hands were cut off by Zhang Chen, she had almost no ability to resist. Zhang Chen then stared at her, then floated up again to breathe air, and then dealt with her again. The special skill of the black tide banshee was just the charming singing voice. It can be said that she was the weakest of the third-level upper-level monsters Zhang Chen had encountered. Because of her strong mental power, she could not pose much threat to herself. when Zhang Chen swam quickly to the black-tide banshee, the black-tide banshee moved her tail fin and fled frantically. All the thugs around her had been killed by Zhang Chen, and she could not fight against Zhang Chen, and Zhang Chen was not in a hurry at all. The lake was so large and there were no other creatures in it. Even if the black-tide banshee swam very fast, she could not escape at all. In the end, the black-tide banshee died in Zhang Chen's hands. Although the process was a bit bumpy, it was very easy. Get Dimensional Crystal Diamond. Get 500 experience points. Get 150 reward points. Puff. Zhang Chen climbed out of the lake, his whole body was wet and full of all kinds of fishy smells, which was very unpleasant. Looking at his body, Zhang Chen was helpless. He was always scarred in every battle. If he hadn't gotten a combat suit from Fan Ben, his legs and feet would have been bitten off when the strong giant crocodile bit his legs and feet at the first time. Zhang Chen found that the pain after he removed the gene lock was much less. In the past, when removing the gene lock, he would sweat profusely and his body couldn't help twitching and shaking, and the pain spread all over his body, but this time, the removal of the gene lock only made his whole body sweat and twitch slightly, and the pain almost disappeared. It seems that I have grown up a little bit. Zhang Chen leaned against the tree to empty himself. 1/3 of the task of entering the main plane has been completed, and the remaining thing is to become the tower owner, and all members are level 10. For most of the day, there was only one person left in the entire 999th evolution spire who had not yet been promoted to level 9, and this person is the one that Zhang Chen left behind after discussing with Wang Yu. It stands to reason that he should be able to be promoted at any time now, only lacking the experience of a monster. On the other hand, the 937th evolution spire has only reached level 8 for all members, and there is still a long time before all members reach level 9. Wang Yu, is anyone watching Adam number 0001? Don't worry, how could we ignore this matter? As long as he uses the invasion combat plan, we will upgrade immediately. Hahaha, Zhang Chen just said that. Adam can't wait. Just now, he launched the invasion plan. We can win this victory. Zhang Chen nodded, so he was relieved. More than 10 days have passed, and Adam's patience has long been worn out. At least in the novice period, there is no need to confront Adam head-on. Avoiding him is the best choice. Without Zhang Chen's order, Wang Yu has already reminded his team members. At the same time, the last person in the 999th evolution spire was promoted to level 9. Tip: congratulations to all members of Evolution Spire number 999 for receiving a total of 10,000 experience points. Tip: congratulations to all members of Evolution Spire number 999 for receiving 20 points of free allocation attributes. Tip: congratulations to Evolution Spire number 999 for receiving a 10-point luck value reward. Tip: congratulations to Evolution Spire number 999 for receiving a double resource reward. That the black light and the white light of heaven fell separately. Zhang Chen was the initiator, so this time he naturally enjoyed double the free attribute allocation and an additional 5,000 experience points. The muscle tissue strength exceeded 300, and the comprehensive combat power reached 350 points. We won, we finally won. Too strong, so we have won 3 consecutive games. Next, as long as we reach level 10, we will be the first to enter the main plane. Come on, brothers. The first to enter the main plane, we can get the most benefits. It's so cool, this win is so refreshing. The winner's smile is like a mockery of the loser. Sasaki-kun, we lost. Yes, Noera, we lost, completely, and we lost sincerely. Sasaki Kojiro said, this is the situation, don't think too much, winning or losing once is nothing. It will be nice to win it back next time. Noera, admit the strength of your opponent and admit my stupidity. Admit it, we are too arrogant. They are all respectable people and opponents. After all, they are our teachers, the founders of East Asian culture, the earliest humans. There is nothing unacceptable about this result. After Sasaki Kojiro finished speaking, a black beam of light entered and enveloped his body as well as Noera beside him. Everyone in Evolution Spire number 937 is suffering from the deprivation of attributes. Tip: the invasion plan is completed, the evolutionary spires on both sides have begun to restore order, and the leaderboard list has been opened at the same time. The small planes on both sides have returned to normal, but the resources in evolution spire number 999 have become more. It will be much easier for everyone to upgrade and kill monsters, and they will be able to obtain more weapons and props, within the regional channel. Damn it, Lord Adam, you should have been one step earlier. Lord Adam, those Chinese rabbits have actually fulfilled the victory conditions. If you wait just a minute. At this time, in the plane of evolutionary spire number 0001, a handsome blonde man held a beautiful woman's head in his hand and kissed it gently, then he threw her aside and was devoured by a monster. Elder brother. Stop talking, Eve. I know what you're going to say. It seems that the people in evolution spire number 999 are very smart. They are waiting for us to launch the invasion plan before they win over those chickens. Adam's voice was soft and his expression was warm and welcoming. No one could imagine the way he just held a head and kissed it. Since we can't meet them in the novice stage, let's wait until we enter the main plane. Smart and Cunning Rabbits. Chapter 68, Whip. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Long live the great god Zhang Chen. Master Zhang Chen, let's launch another invasion plan. How about we win 4 games in a row with our momentum? The chat channel was full of joy, and everyone hoped to continue to gain benefits. This way of increasing combat effectiveness is much simpler than killing monsters and upgrading. Some honest people lamented why the heroes in ancient times had money to travel around the world. If you don't have any money, just grab a sum and you'll make a fortune. Everyone, we need to rest. We cannot continue to launch invasion plans. Wang Yu has always kept his head clear, he has the most people under his command, and he also understands how hard everyone has worked to upgrade as quickly as possible during this period. Don't look at everyone who is excited now, but in fact, they were already exhausted. I have only slept for more than 10 hours in more than 10 days, and the excitement now is just a flashback. Once you relax, you will soon feel tired. To continue fighting is to court death, Zhang Chen said. It is most likely impossible to carry out an invasion plan. There is no invasion plan in hand, and there is no boss to kill this time. Unless someone else comes to challenge us, don't even think about it. At this time, there was already a lot of curses in the regional channel. They are all rebukes and insults for evolution spire number 937. Except Lord Adam, is there no one to clean up evolution spire number 999? I said to the head of evolutionary spire number 0002, you are screaming so fiercely, go and kill them. Kill them together with their own attributes, and that's 4 attribute rewards. What are you waiting for Master Adam to do? I don't have an invasion plan in hand, otherwise I would have taken action long ago. Yes, we have used it too, otherwise we will definitely make evolution spire number 999 look good. The crowd was clamoring loudly, but they had no appetite for evolution spire number 999, which had won 3 games in a row. It's just lip service. It's not that easy to really shake the 999th evolution spire. The lessons from the past are in front of us. Even though the 3 people killed by evolution spire number 999 were not the top 3, but others also need to think carefully if they want to win against these 3 people. What's more, after the 3rd victory, the current evolution spire number 999 has all members at level 9. I am afraid that except for Adam spire number 0001, no one dares to say that he can surely defeat the evolutionary spire number 999. And Zhang Chen also suddenly became the most popular person, and some people even compared him to Adam. But Zhang Chen himself doesn't care about these gossips. Zhang Chen looked at his personal taskbar, and the font color of the Tower Master task was on, reach level 10, break through 300 points of combat power, and kill 5 high-level 3rd-level monsters. At this time, there are only 2 3rd-level high-level monsters left, and he can complete this task. There are exactly 5 areas in the whole map. Isn't there a boss in each area? The mutated Elf King in the Tranquility Forest. The Black-Tide Banshee in the Black Mist Lake. The Valra Half-Dragon on the summit of Winter. There are still barren wilderness and broken battlefields left, that there are only a few places left in the broken battlefield that have not been searched, and the current location is relatively close to the barren wilderness. After the Lord God repaired his whole body, Zhang Chen moved his position and drove towards the barren wilderness on a personal combat skateboard, feeling the speed of the strong wind blowing through my body. I arrived at my destination in less than 2 hours. If Zhang Chen was allowed to run by himself, it would take at least a day. Then we just need to look for the third-level high-level monsters in the area. Zhang Chen was flying high in the sky, overlooking the earth. The situation below is unobstructed, there is very little cover in the barrens, so it's easy to see what's underneath. The shape of the individual combat skateboard looks like a bird from a distance. Even if someone found out below, they wouldn't be too suspicious. At this time, from Zhang Chen's perspective, many members of the evolution spire were already very tired. Everyone found a place to lie down and rest instead of continuing to hunt the monsters. Everyone, although everyone is working hard, according to the agreement, you must reach level 10 within 5 days. Otherwise I would still have initiated my plan. Last place elimination system. Zhang Chen suddenly spoke in the chat channel, very coldly. Everyone who was taking a break to brag in chat fell silent for a moment when they saw Zhang Chen's words. Then he answered Zhang Chen. Don't worry, it's enough to promote Master Zhang Chen to level 10 in 5 days. Yeah, we'll upgrade. Master Zhang Chen, being promoted to level 10 in 5 days is not a big deal. Why don't you just upgrade to a level? Don't worry, we will definitely be the first to enter the main plane. That everyone responded one after another, but Zhang Chen understood that they answered reluctantly. Zhang Chen naturally had his own considerations in giving this time. Basically, most people can complete this task with a little effort, of course, just kill those who don't work hard. Although the number of people in Evolution Spire number 999 is now less than 500, Zhang Chen does not intend to let people who are just pretending to be there. The buff on his body has disappeared, but if he kills too many people, God will not punish him. On the other hand, Wang Yu complained about Zhang Chen's actions. Zhang Chen, why can't he let everyone take a good rest? We have just experienced such a battle, and we are asked to upgrade quickly, and even set such a tight time limit. It's too inhumane. Su Yingying smiled and said, Captain Wang Yu, Zhang Chen did nothing wrong. In such a world, a sense of crisis is very important, not to mention that we are already a thorn in the eyes and flesh of other evolutionary spires. If we don't become stronger, we will soon be targeted by other evolutionary spires and killed. Yo! Zhang Chen is just helping us survive in his own way. Of course, I guess he has a stronger desire to survive, and we are just accessories. If he has the chance to abandon us, he should abandon us directly, right? Don't say that, Zhang Chen. Huh, you can't even say it yourself, right? Don't trust Zhang Chen too much, he is a devil in his bones. I can clearly see the devil in his eyes. That Wang Yu opened his mouth, but couldn't say anything, just like Su Yingying said, although Zhang Chen seemed to be helping everyone. In fact, it was all for himself to survive better. Also, the reduction rate of their number 999 evolution spire was too fast, and this series of things seemed to be related to every decision made by Zhang Chen. By the way, Captain Wang Yu. Su Yingying suddenly said cunningly, I got a novice mission, can you do me a favor? Mission? Wang Yu nodded and said, just tell me what you want to do, I will definitely help you. Okay, let's go to the barren wilderness. My novice mission requires me to kill some black stone beetles. These black stone beetles are distributed in the barren wilderness. Okay, the barren wilderness is not far from us. Let others rest here, and we will go alone. Chapter 69, Using the Opponent's Trick. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Putting away the skateboard, Zhang Chen walked on the road. Although the skateboard is very fast, it also consumes energy. Charging also costs bonus points. Although he has a lot of bonus points, Zhang Chen is also a person who has lived a hard life and knows that it is not good to waste, and now he is only in a small plane. Once he enters the main plane, there will probably be many places where bonus points are needed. There are few monsters and resources in the barren wilderness, and everything looks so desolate. What is that? Zhang Chen walked forward quickly. Two members of the number 999 evolution spire were besieging a second-level upper-level monster black-backed bull. Zhang Chen had already absorbed the corpse of this bull. There are not many advantages except for its great strength and thick blood. Although the two besieged it, the battle was still fierce. The black-backed bull was covered with scars and soon couldn't hold on, but suddenly, the earth trembled, and a large number of black-backed bulls rushed out from a distance, their hooves with flying dust, approaching quickly. All dead. There were about 20 cattle. If he had taken action, he could have avoided this tragedy, but Zhang Chen looked at them coldly without any emotion, and had no intention of taking action. The two people in the battle were also scared to death when they saw the cattle. It was so difficult to deal with one cattle, so many cattle would cost them their lives. Run, that the two people ran away, but 2 legs could not outrun 4 legs. Seeing someone standing in front, the two people rushed directly to Zhang Chen's position without thinking. Zhang Chen frowned, pulled out the red flame blade and made a slashing motion. Once the two people approached, he would chop them into pieces without hesitation. Boom! A huge explosion sounded, and then Zhang Yu and Su Yingying appeared in front of the two people, stopping the charge of the cattle and scaring them away. Bad luck. Zhang Chen put away the red flame blade. He didn't expect to meet Wang Yu and the others here. Are you all right? Boss Wang Yu. We are fine, thank you, thank you. The two thanked him repeatedly, but Wang Yu and Su Yingying immediately caught up with Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen, don't go. Zhang Chen pretended not to hear and walked forward. Brother Zhang Chen. Wang Yu and Su Yingying quickly stepped forward to block Zhang Chen's way and asked him to stop. Zhang Chen frowned at the two and said, "Why are you blocking me? Don't waste my time. I still have to kill the monster." If Wang Yu hadn't stood in front of him, Zhang Chen would have killed anyone else. Zhang Chen, you have already reached level 10, why are you so anxious? Is there any mission? Maybe we can help. Su Yingying's eyes were a little cunning. Zhang Chen didn't want to pay attention to this woman. After all, he didn't have a good impression of her, but he thought that these two people might know the news of the third-level upper monster, so he stopped. I don't have any tasks, but I'm too lazy to fight the monsters around me. I want to find something stronger. Do you two have any good places to go? Yes. Su Yingying's eyes lit up and said, the Black Stone Beetle Zone, there must be the monsters you want there. Oh. Zhang Chen raised his mouth and said, it seems that you really know something, take me there. Zhang Chen, I can take you there, but you have to help me kill a few black stone beetles. Okay, no problem. Zhang Chen agreed immediately, let's go. Su Yingying nodded and smiled, come with me, I know the location. Su Yingying and Wang Yu moved very fast, but Zhang Chen could easily keep up with them. Seeing that Su Yingying was so familiar with the route, Zhang Chen asked, have you been to this area before? Or did you receive a mission and was given instructions directly? Su Yingying was surprised that Zhang Chen guessed so accurately, but she still pretended to be calm and said, no mission, I have indeed been here. Oh. Is there any treasure here that makes you come here? Zhang Chen laughed behind her, wanting to see how Su Yingying would answer. Zhang Chen, she received a mission, but I don't know the specific content, probably to kill a certain number of black stone beetles. Wang Yu, an honest man, spoke and betrayed Su Yingying directly. It's not that he wanted to please Zhang Chen, but there was no point in deceiving Zhang Chen. What's more, Su Yingying should not be able to make it up according to the situation. Su Yingying stamped her feet and said, what a stupid captain, that she was so angry that she ran forward alone, leaving Zhang Chen and Wang Yu behind. It seems that these two people are more or less related. Zhang Chen followed behind and laughed from a distance. The three walked for about an hour and came to a basin. The three of them stood on top, the ground was sunken from their eyes, and there were rubble and pits below, which looked very dangerous. The black stone beetle is below. Zhang Chen, the head of the black stone beetle is called the black gold beetle, and its strength is at least the upper level of the third level. Generally, it will stay in the largest cave. Do you see the hole in the center? It must be there. Are you sure you want to cause trouble for it? Then you don't have to worry about it. After taking a look at the environment below, Su Feng casually threw down a huge stone, and suddenly many stones below moved. The black stone beetles disguised themselves as stones and stayed in place. Once an enemy approached, they would hit the enemy with their hard heads. That's quite a lot. Zhang Chen smiled and said, Su Yingying, how many do you want to kill? Kill 10. Su Yingying said, just beat them half to death and leave it to me. Okay, no problem, let's go. Zhang Chen smiled and jumped down first, and then Su Yingying and Wang Yu looked at each other and followed. Just as the three of them stood still, Zhang Chen suddenly took out his gun and fired everywhere. The power of ordinary guns could not penetrate the defense of the black stone beetles, but the huge noise completely woke them up. Zhang Chen, what are you doing? The safest way to face the black stone beetles is to kill them one by one, Su Yingying shouted, and at least a dozen black stone beetles around them all woke up. Ah. That has nothing to do with me, you can slowly figure it out. Zhang Chen smiled and performed qigong as if a breeze quickly passed by these black stone beetles and entered the cave. Su Yingying wanted to plot against Zhang Chen, so Zhang Chen agreed to it. First, he really didn't know the location of this third-level upper-level monster. Second, there were so many little ones around the black gold beetle, and Su Yingying and Wang Yu could just help to contain and solve it. Just focus on dealing with the black gold beetle. Isn't it wonderful to kill two birds with one stone? Su Yingying didn't expect that while she was plotting against Zhang Chen was also plotting against her. She was so angry that she stomped her feet and cursed Zhang Chen for being a despicable villain. Damn Zhang Chen, damn despicable villain. Yingying, stop complaining. Wang Yu protected Su Yingying, surrounded by black stone beetles. Wang Yu, what should we do? What else can we do? You have to complete the task, and we have to survive. Of course, we have to kill them. Chapter 70 Hard Stone Beetle Magnetic Bomb. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhang Chen entered the cave, and the sound of fighting outside became urgent. The two sides fought fiercely, which also created extremely favorable conditions for him. There are no black stone beetles in the cave. This is only a separate area for black gold beetles. Zhang Chen took 2 steps and could already feel his heavy breathing. The cave was like a bellows, with heavy breathing coming and going, and small whirlwinds blowing. Isn't this thing also a big guy? The black stone beetles outside are about the same size as ordinary medium-sized dogs, but their leader, the body of the black gold beetle, after taking 2 quick steps, Zhang Chen saw a huge curled-up dark golden stone blocking the front. The heavy breathing came from under the stone. The dark golden stone must be at least 100 square meters in size, and even the Vala half-dragon is much smaller than it. This is the largest monster Zhang Chen has ever seen so far. Since you are still sleeping, don't blame me for being rude. Holding the red flame blade in both hands, Zhang Chen exploded with power and rotated the blade, slashing hard. Clang! The huge force and sharp blade struck the dark golden stone, leaving only a white mark. What the hell? This kind of hardness is comparable to fine steel stone, and Zhang Chen's jaw was paralyzed by the shock. The dark gold stone beetle suddenly started to move, rocks fell in the cave, and the ground shook. Run! Zhang Chen turned around and ran without hesitation. The movement of the dark gold stone beetle caused the cave to collapse. Zhang Chen escaped from the cave avoiding countless stones. The bottom of the collapsed cave was still shaking. Zhang Chen jumped up and looked at the trembling earth. Suddenly, the huge body of the dark gold stone beetle emerged from the broken rubble. Under its stone-like body, 2 long and narrow eyes stared at Zhang Chen, looking angrily at this guy who had disturbed his sweet dream. Su Yingying and Wang Yu also noticed Zhang Chen's movements during the battle. This is the dark gold stone beetle. Why is it so exaggerated? Although Su Yingying knew that the dark gold stone beetle was here due to mission information, she never thought it would be so big. Whether it was strength or size, it gave them an extremely terrifying sense of oppression. Wang Yu also said in disbelief, is this thing really something that humans can deal with? Zhang Chen stood in a high position and took a stance, the red flame blade in his hand burning with flames, and a fiery red flower was budding on the long sword. Red lotus flower. As Zhang Chen roared, the fiery red flowers fell like meteors. The moment the flames collided with the dark gold stone beetle, sparks flew everywhere, and the terrifying power blew away everything around them like an explosion. Su Yingying and Wang Yu were stunned by Zhang Chen's moves. Wang Yu reacted faster and repelled a black stone beetle that wanted to attack. Su Yingying came to her senses after shouting. Zhang Chen is also as strong as a monster, it's too scary. It's not from the same dimension at all. What kind of talent did he awaken? A special attack with the fire attribute. Wang Yu and Su Yingying were fighting and retreating. The combat effectiveness of the black stone beetle was not high, and it was even at the bottom among the second-level high-level monsters, but their defense power is indeed astonishing, and can even reach the level of ordinary third-level low-level or even mid-level monsters. When the number is large, it becomes very difficult to handle. Zhang Chen and the dark gold stone beetles were fighting fiercely. In just a few minutes, the basin was completely destroyed by the dark gold beetles and Zhang Chen. The damage caused by the red lotus flower made the dark gold stone beetle become even more violent, but its attack power and attack posture are really not that good. In Zhang Chen's eyes, it is just a moving target with a relatively hard shell. Among the third-level high-level monsters, the most difficult one to deal with is the Valra half-dragon. The dark stone beetle is not fast enough and has a single attack method. The only talent skill is to manipulate rock and soil, which can form rock and soil around at any time and anywhere to cause trouble to the opponent. Then it only has a collision attack method, the rock and earth manipulated by the dark stone. Beetle's talent does not have the toughness and strength of its body. Zhang Chen can easily split these mounds of rocks and soil, and his speed is far faster than the attack speed of these things. Therefore, Zhang Chen, who was flexible, encountered the easiest battle he had ever faced against a third-level monster or above. The only issue that needs to be considered is how to pry open the hard shell of the dark stone beetle. Put away the red flame blade. Zhang Chen climbed into the sky on his skateboard, and then held a Gauss sniper rifle in both hands. There was no need to aim at the huge dark stone beetle body. The dark stone beetle manipulates rock and soil to pursue Zhang Chen. The huge thrust stopped at high altitude, and Zhang Chen's flying height was always beyond its range. Once it can fly and have long-distance attacks, the dark stone beetle has nothing to do. Boom! What happened this time? Su Yingying and Wang Yu didn't know how many times they were surprised today. Zhang Chen is like an ultramodern warrior, holding a silver matte sci-fi sniper gun in his hand and flying in the air on props like flying swords. The Gauss sniper gun in his hand sprayed a huge amount of gas to both sides, as if to relieve pressure, cancelling out all the terrible recoil. It's so outrageous, it's like watching a movie. Where on earth did he get these things? The bullet carried an unstoppable momentum and hit the dark gold stone beetle, breaking its defense. Sure enough. Zhang Chen was delighted. The Red Lotus was a large-scale offensive move, and its ability to break through a single point of defense was insufficient. On the contrary, the Gauss sniper rifle had unparalleled lethality. Even an ordinary bullet was enough to penetrate the dark gold stone beetle's defense with one shot. It's a pity that this thing is too big. The small local damage is not a big threat to it. Zhang Chen raised his hand to pull the bolt and fired again. The roar of the gun was like thunder. The dark gold stone beetle below blocked a large number of stones and earth piles on itself, like a layer of rock armor, resisting Zhang Chen's attack. The bullet was insufficient in kinetic energy after being weakened layer by layer, and could only leave a shallow wound on the dark gold stone beetle. The dark gold stone beetle was not stupid. Under the protection of a large number of earth piles and rocks, it began to dig a hole again, preparing to escape from Zhang Chen. It couldn't attack Zhang Chen, so it could only take the beating. If it didn't run, it would die. You two run, stay away from this tunnel. I'll give you 10 seconds, Zhang Chen shouted to Su Yingying and Wang Yu, and then a long, red bullet appeared in his hand, which he loaded into the Gauss sniper rifle. Gauss magnetic storm bullet. Requires a D-level reward authority, 500 reward points. Zhang Chen naturally couldn't watch the dark gold beetle escape from his hands, so he exchanged for a powerful special Gauss bullet with great pain. What is this guy going to do? No matter what he is going to do, just run. Wang Yu held Su Yingying in one hand, and then ran wildly with both legs. He only had 10 seconds, so he had to run as far as he could. Su Yingying looked up at the sky, and Zhang Chen had already aimed at the dark gold stone beetle.